ไม่ได้ไปนะอยู่บ้าน All right, here we are. Good morning. Sawasdee Krab. See if I can move this in a little bit. A lot to talk about today. First, I want to say if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you. Please remember to leave a thumbs up. All the information you need is down below in the description. You can contact me through there as well. Visit my website. And thank you to everybody who helps contribute to this channel in one form or another. I appreciate it. Anyway, let me get right to it because I saw an article, and this is one of many articles, and I've been hearing this more and more, but I'm wondering what everybody thinks, and I know what I think about the anti-foreigner sentiment that seems to be rising, not only against Burmese, also against Chinese, and of course Westerners. And I'm wondering what people think about it. I know what I think, and we're going to get into it in a minute. But first, let me read this article. And it's about an expat who says a bank, which is Krung Sri Bank, denied him entry to the bank. He needed to do some business at the teller as opposed to just through the ATM. And this guy was a Russian. He said he was wearing a face mask, and he tried to. It's a Bank of Ayutthaya. So why they? Okay, a Bank of Ayutthaya on Surawang Road, and he said that the bank security guard stopped him and asked him to wait outside. Then a couple people came out, and then finally the bank manager came out, and it says the manager showed me on his phones some announcement about COVID-19. So I asked, because of COVID, I cannot enter because I am a foreigner, and he nodded, the Russian expat said. The guy's name was Grigory Zemenkov. Says Zemenkov then said he offered to hand him his card and passport to the bank employees so they could do the transactions for him while he waited outside, but his request was rejected. While the exchanges happened, other Thai customers were free to enter. The expat said he later went to Krung Sri branch at Chamchori Square to do his transaction. It was smooth without any problems or questions. An employee answering the phone at Surawang branch Wednesday said he would not comment on the matter, but insisted the incident was COVID related. The Bank of Ayutthaya call center said the company did not have any policy to bar foreigners from using its service. Well, of course they don't, because if they did, then it would be out there and it'd be on record. Thank you, Mr. Balal. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. But this raises not only the question of just how informed the average Thai is about this virus, but also, of course, their anti-foreigner sentiment, their racism, and I don't think it's any surprise to most foreigners that there's a good portion of Thais who can be quite racist. And whether it's because of ignorance or whatever, I don't know, I can't say that I experience it all the time. Once in a while I do. You can make the case for the dual pricing that outside of the country, in other countries, other countries like the United States, the UK, Australia, they charge more for people who are foreigners than they do for locals. And, you know, it's always bothered me. But, you know, you kind of just go, hey, I am different. And I don't care that I'm different. I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be Thai. You know, I feel an affinity for Thai people because on the whole, they are generally good people. But I can tell you, I've asked, yeah, exactly, thank you. I will say this though. I have talked to a large number of people, Thais, and asked them what they thought about this virus and what it meant with foreigners coming in and everything. And quite a large percentage of them believe that foreigners don't need to be here, which really surprised me. And you know, the people in the tourist industry tend to think it's okay, open up, we need the money, and they have an agenda. You know, they need to make money. They don't know what they're going to do, and they're scared, and you know, it's tough to start over and do a completely different job. And this is why I don't understand why the government would try to phase out at least a large portion of tourism so that the economy wasn't relying upon it until they had some other ways for a large percentage of the population to make money, not tourism related. Okay? What is this? God damn it. I finally arrived back in Thailand during January. Will have to prepare myself for the whole paranoia and mask obsession. I don't know where you're from, but I can tell you that it's from what I see, it's a hell of a lot better here than it is elsewhere. And while there are now an increasing number of what I see as isolated incidents due to ignorance, due to fear, you know, I don't know that you're going to have to deal with anything, really. I could see why they would not want tourists until this whole thing is over. It's hard to tell the difference between tourists and long-term residents. Exactly, and that's why one of the things that has been talked about is getting a card for expats, some kind of a card where they show the card. It kind of like you know, you have your residence card here, Bat Pachachon, your ID card, and they can have one for an expat. You know, any expat who has a one-year visa of any kind or an elite visa or something, you are considered an expat. You live here. So, you know, yeah, I understand they don't want tourists coming in, but then what is the point of having quarantine? Why would you see? Here is the issue. I believe this is the crux of the issue. If you're going to let people into your country, and then you're going to discriminate against them, why not just not let them in the country? Do away with the quarantine and say no foreigners allowed. Just do it. Do whatever you got to do. I don't get it. I understand, and that's where their ignorance is. Because if they don't care about that, then why would they let somebody who's Thai come in? And you know, this is the other thing. You have this Anutin, the health minister, who most Thais that I've talked to do not like him. And you know, this is anecdotal evidence, but they don't like him. And this is the thing. Foreigners are not more likely to bring in the virus than Thais. This discriminates against nobody. If you get the virus, you get the virus. You don't have to be Thai, you don't have to be white, you don't have to be black, it's everybody. So for them to think, oh, it's all the foreigners bringing it in, to me, seems, a bit of a stretch. You know, you're gonna fear me because I got white skin. I've been in this country, I haven't had COVID that I know of ever. So if I do have it, well, then why aren't you testing? I don't feel bad. I have no symptoms. And this is, yes, it's xenophobia, it's, racism, it's anti-foreigner sentiment, however you want to put it. you know, and I'm done sugarcoating it. It is what it is, you know, and I think they know, and you know, and I was gonna title this stream, is it anti-sentiment or is it safety? Yeah, but here's the thing. I think it's frustrating for the Thais to see Farang not wearing a mask, so they take it out on the front. Listen, that's bullshit, okay? Complete bullshit. You know why it's bullshit? Because I see Thais all the time not wearing their masks. So please, don't even bring that shit up. Hello, Benny. Sawasdee Cup, everybody. Yeah, I mean, you cannot even begin to try to pass that off as a legitimate statement, because I go all over this place. I mean, you know, look, yesterday I was down on the Chao Phraya. Okay, it's their country, but then don't make it seem. Listen, you can try to spin it however the fuck you want, buddy. Don't try to make it to where, oh well, because it's my country, I don't have to wear a mask. No, you do. You're just as likely to catch it. So don't bitch to me if you catch it from some other Thai. Because what's going to happen if I catch it from a Thai? Nobody's going to give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to care. They're not going to go, oh, you got it from a Thai. It's not about that. And I'm not going to go, you know what, those dirty Thais. I'm not going to do that. You get it from who you get it. You know, and hopefully you live. That's the whole, you know, idea of it. Now, let me see if I can find this other piece that I was looking at. Let me see here. I've got a long list of, okay, we don't need to go over that. Oh, well, actually, I do need to go over that. Tourism suffering after new COVID pandemic, of course, that's a, you know, a given. All right, now, here's the thing. I don't know if it's in the Bangkok Post, I haven't looked, but on the Tiger, police called after Bangkok bus passenger removes his mask to blow his nose. And he blew his nose and spit in a tissue. Now, that's disgusting, and yes, that's one way to catch it. You're blowing your nose, it's pretty stupid. That's why you blow your nose into a handkerchief or, you know, a tissue or something. I try to do that all the time. I try to always have something. I mean, even a napkin. Just cover your face up. If you got two masks, sneeze into the mask. Do whatever you have to do. But wash your hands afterwards, you know. Let me see if I can find this piece that I wanted. Because there was one particular piece here. Here in Israel, many have already received the vaccine. Well, that's not going to happen here. Not anytime soon. It's going to be a few months. Okay, so this is the bank. That was the bus. Let me see here. China. Why can't I find it? Whenever I need something, I can't find it. I need to put them in the right order here. But obviously, the number of cases is up in Thailand, and the first death occurred. Supposedly, a guy who was working in an illegal gambling den, which I've read that it's not an illegal gambling den. I've read it is. I don't know what to believe. But anyway, a guy working there supposedly, I think it was 45-year-old guy, passed away. Yeah, Rayong gambling employee. 45-year-old man. He had underlying conditions related to asthma and diabetes. Became sick and died on the way to the hospital. So, nearly 100 people in Rayong, many linked to the illegal gambling den, have tested positive for COVID-19. Thailand currently has a record high of 2,045 COVID-19 cases, with more than 1,000 cases involving migrants working in Samut Sakhon. And now there's 61 deaths. Well, this, you know, you got to remember another thing, that corruption is not really considered corruption here until it's translated into English. And this is ingrained in the society. It's been ingrained for a long, long time. It's not going anywhere. The chance of it going anywhere is very slim. Let's see. I want to find this article here. What's this here? Thailand raises the white flag on foreign tourism for now as the world fights against the virus. All right, I'm not going to go through this. I think we know that. We know that they need the tourists here. Yeah, here's the one where it says the gambling den is not a gambling den. When is a gambling den not a gambling den? Rayong's top police commander was removed from active duty on Monday after revelations that an illegal gambling den in the province was responsible for a cluster of coronavirus outbreak, though he insisted it was not classified as a gambling den. At least 85 cases of coronavirus were found in the eastern province of Rayong in recent days. Over the past 3 months, we've made 98 arrests. All this is, to me, is fluff. You know, if you're going to allow people to come in, if you're going to allow people to take part in places, engage in activities in places where there's a lot of people in close proximity, and you're not going to practice social distancing, then what do you expect? You know? Hey, Dre, what's happening? Speaking of Dre and I had a nice conversation over lunch yesterday. Spent a couple hours shooting the shit. And he's a guy. He worked on some of the graphics for my shirts before. So if you need any graphics done, he's your guy. But I'm trying to find this one piece. And it was, let's see here if I can find it. Is this the one? No. You know, the big news right now in America is the stimulus bill, and, they're trying to pass the bigger stimulus checks and all this other kind of stuff. Let me just see if I can narrow this down to where I got like 20 windows open. Yeah, right now. This may change in the very near future. And in, let's see here, sweeping closures. In the city. The order covers bars with hostesses, horse racing tracks and cockfighting arenas, and other entertainment venues, including massage parlors. However, pubs and restaurants can stay open as long as they serve only food and drinks and close by midnight. Well, what else are they going to serve besides food and drinks? $30. It's a buck. Now, let me see here. Well, I'd like to think so, but then some of them in power don't seem to be making intelligent decisions. No, we have got the F team working today. Sorry to say, Mr. Gennaro, at least as of right now. The F team being, we have the manager, Mr. Ken, and we also have a fairly new male employee, Mr. Yorn. And I will say that I actually got a little blueberry muffin this morning, and he buttered my muffin for free. So I don't know if it was just, ignorance, not being aware, being new, whatever, but I didn't say anything. So, do you see the baht climbing to 31 to the dollar? No, I don't. Not anytime soon. It's only about 30.09 right now. It's been very humid lately, and it has been hotter, and so it's not all that. It's not all that wonderful. The weather is it's okay, but I mean at like 8 o'clock, it's like 85 degrees and 85% humidity. So you know that tells you something. Now I'm gonna find this article if it's the last thing I do. Because it had to do with entering a place. There we go. Oh, here we go. Huh. Oh, I didn't know this. I'm looking at, this had to do with Richard Barrow again, who, he has a habit because he likes to put himself in the line of fire, which, I understand that's what you kind of do if you're trying to report news and that kind of thing. But he's constantly having problems with the people, the governments, and all that. But what I was going to say, I can't find this thing. I'm still trying to find it. There was a restaurant down the street from my house here. It's Chok Chai 4. I'm in Bangkok. It's about 20 minutes by taxi, maybe 30 minutes. And that restaurant said specifically no foreigners. And this Richard Barrow went into a place, and I'm trying to find out where it was. But he went into a place and it said no foreigners and no Chinese. And I can't find the article, but at least not at the moment. And he did say to them, hey, I live here, I'm an expat, I've been here, quite some time, blah, 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 blah. And it didn't matter. No can do. Cannot come in. What is this? No laws. Okay, bus. Now, also, there have been reports from foreigners or a foreigner, not foreigners. The transport company, which is a bus service, they're one of the bus companies. Foreign travelers are not allowed to board their buses because they do not possess Thai national ID cards, a customer service agent said. They don't hold Thai ID cards, so they can't board our buses, she said when reached for comments. We need them for identification purposes. So what's wrong with the passport? Asked whether passports can be used instead, the agent said no. It's the company policy. Sorry for any inconvenience. Now, this is one of the reasons why I say in Thailand and in other parts of Asia, like all parts of Asia, the word sorry, it means fuck all. Sorry doesn't mean jack shit here. Oh, I'm sorry for your inconvenience, but no, fuck you, you can't come onto the bus because you're white and you might have the coronavirus. Fuck off. Yeah, what are we going to do? We're not going to ride on the back of the bus. We're going to ride on another bus. We're not going to be allowed on their buses. That's what, if you want to really look at it that way, hey, other interprovincial bus providers don't have such a rule. Private operators such as Nakhon Chai Air and Sambator said foreigners are welcome on board. but they are encouraged to check with local quarantine requirements since some of the provinces still enforce 14-day quarantine for foreigners. Now, this was back in June of this year when this came to light, okay? Let me see something here. So there's banks, buses, restaurants. You cannot. No, come inside. Welcome. Please not come inside. That's pretty much where we are right now. We're getting there quickly. We don't need to look at that. We already know about the guy who blows his nose. I really wish I could find this. I don't know about that because I was on a train not long ago. Didn't have any problems. But I will say that I am one of the very few people, very few foreigners that I saw in Ayutthaya. I'm one of the few foreigners I saw in Kanchanaburi before when I went, and this is all recently, in the last 3 months. And the thing is okay, you're gonna have to pick your poison. Are you gonna alienate all the people who, I hate to say this, but you know what? Foreigners and foreign duckies are the ones who helped Thailand modernize. We had a hand in it. The tourist dollars, the expat dollars, helped Thailand become what it is. And so what do? Do you tell all the people who basically have been coming here faithfully, loving, what the Thais have here, and you just tell everybody to piss off? What do? You tell them piss off and then you alienate them? Or do you tell them, okay, you can come inside, but you might not be able to go everywhere because, if somebody doesn't want you there. And, the bottom line is if they don't want me here, fine, I won't be here. If a restaurant doesn't want my business, fine, I'll never go there again. And when it comes to that, like Black Canyon Coffee, I have to ask my wife. It was probably 14, 15 years ago when there was nobody in the place, just me and my wife. They gave the food to my wife, and I'm waiting there for like 30 minutes. And then finally I go, where's my food? We forgot. And I'm like, you forgot? And then they wouldn't do anything about it. They were like, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot. And I said, well, cancel the order. And then when I've talked about this before, when I contacted their head office, the head office, which is in the United States, they said, the head office in Thailand is different. We've had problems with this. This is why we wash our hands from this, and they take care of everything. And they wouldn't do anything, the head office here. They're just like, you're lucky to get a response. So I feel, honored that I got a response from them. But this is many years ago. But I've never been back. Because to me, that's their way of saying, screw you. Now, I don't think they did it intentionally. But if you do it intentionally, at least to me, then, why would I keep coming back? It's already to the point where, like, I don't want to go to certain places because they charge 10 times more. I went to what the hell's the name of the place? Not Ayutthaya floating market. And, the price was 200 baht for foreigners and 0 for Thais. Now, 200 baht's not all that much. I don't want to complain, but I'm not a tourist. So to me, it would seem that, okay, if you are somebody who lives here, actually lives here, living here and visiting here are two different things. If you're a tourist, you're coming here for a month or two, even 3 months, 6 months, and you don't have you've got a tourist visa, you're here on a tourist visa, then you might have to pay more, and I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're somebody who lives here, and like, you can't imagine, say what you will, but you can't imagine how much money my wife and I, my own money, have put back into this economy over the years. Far more than you might think. Between the, you know, kids' tuition and traveling and all kinds of things, purchases, furnishings, you know, what day. Segregation, stuff like this happens. I'm in LA. Well, you're not in a real good place now, are you? Gennaro's in LA also. So we got people in the, I just saw today, LA has the highest number of cases of COVID in the country with the highest cases of COVID in the world. Not the greatest place to be right now, but then what are you gonna do, you know? All right, that's, we don't need to talk about the, and they're locked down. Yeah. Well, you got out. Okay, and then, you know, back in February, there was a restaurant in Chiang Mai. It's just not only in Bangkok, this is starting to spread. Chiang Mai restaurant told to remove no Chinese sign allowed. There was apparently a sign in Chiang Mai that was up and it said, we have to apologize for all, they couldn't spell Chinese right. CHAINESE. Consumers at the moment and foreign, I can't see what it says, foreign something. So the police said, put a sign up that says, we run out of food in Chinese. The lady who owns the place said that she complied, but the change made her feel uncomfortable. I feel very uncomfortable, the 31-year-old businesswoman said. I wrote that sign in the first place because I don't know which, here, this is kind of telling. I don't know which one of the Chinese customers who ate at my restaurant was infected. And you don't know which one of your Thai customers is infected either. Jesus Christ, it's like, look, you're a foreigner, you have AIDS. Imagine that. Just because I'm a foreigner, I have AIDS? What about you? For all I know, you could be screwing your brains out. You know, different people every day, multiple people every day, not using not using any protection. Could be you. They could be, you know, you don't know what they're doing. So, I mean, it's ignorance. Speaking to reporters on Sunday, the restaurant owner said she posted a notice after a group of Thai customers left her restaurant when they heard that Chinese tourists were eating in the same establishment. Listen, you know, Chinese are not the most liked people in the world, especially right now. Even before the COVID, they weren't all that loved. I wouldn't call them beloved. I'm talking about mainlanders. I'm not talking about Taiwanese, Singaporean Chinese, Malaysian Chinese, of course, Hong Kongers. I'm not talking about that. Okay. When who's had the disease or got the vaccine will receive a green passport. I don't know. Yeah, okay, now at the time they wrote this article, it says Thailand counts 14 cases of confirmed coronavirus infection so far, all but 2 of them tourists from mainland China. Despite calls on social media, the government has declined to suspend visas for Chinese tourists entering the kingdom so far. So basically, you can come in our country, but if we don't want to serve you, you basically need to piss off. Much more hotties in Thailand. What the hell are you talking about now? Listen, some guy wrote me yesterday. What was his name? David. He gave me a hard time because, you know, the girl that was in the coffee shop, I teased her and said, oh, you're so old. And he's like, oh, you got a real way with the women. Dude, give me a break. She knew I was teasing her. You know, it's like, everybody's looking to rag on everybody. Rag on me because I was, you know, teasing this girl. She knew what I was saying. Everybody else needs, you know, one suggestion. Wash your hands, put your mask on, whether you like to do it or not. And you know why? It'll keep you out of trouble. You're not going to have to be brawling with people, especially over there. Here, my thing is I wear the stuff because I don't want the Thais to have the opportunity to come and say, I saw you walking down the street without a mask on. Yeah, but there was nobody next to me. Oh, I don't want to walk through the mall without a mask. And they go, you're walking through the mall all over the place. And, you know, that's why I wear the mask. I'm not all that frightened of it. I mean, you know, of the virus. I mean, I don't want to catch it, just like I don't want to catch the flu. I don't want to catch the flu. What the hell do I want the flu for? I don't want the flu, and I don't want the coronavirus. You know, so, you know, for me, it's a matter of, listen, I'll do my little part here. Try to be safe. If they say that's what it takes, I'll do it. For now. You know. And that's what I would suggest most people do when they're here, especially if you're a foreigner, because you don't want to be branded the foreigner who got the whole country, you know, started the third wave of the COVID virus. I don't want to be that person. I don't think anybody else does. What is this? Squat toilet is nothing compared to using a dipper to wipe your ass. Big deal. So you wipe your ass with your hand. That's not a big deal. You know, at some point, people got to get over stuff. It's not a big deal. You use the water. You use the water. The pressure of the water going downward kind of flushes away some of the any large dingleberries. You use your hand, and you wash your hands thoroughly. And I don't mean a little. Okay, I'm done. All right? It's not a big deal. Listen, if you're a man, be a man. If you're a woman, you know, if you can use a bidet, fine. I understand it's a bit disgusting, but get over it. It's not that bad, you know. People drink their own piss in times of need when they're out in the desert, and, you know, they get over it. Life goes on. All right, so this is not what I was looking at. Let's see here. I still want to find that. I don't even think it was in the Bangkok Post. I have to think where it was. If you can eat all that street food, you're good. I don't have a problem with it. But then again, I don't go to places that look dirty. And hey, you know, Dre, I have to tell you, the guy at that restaurant yesterday, you know, he had that pork belly laying out, drying in the sun. You know, that slab of pork. And, you know, I was standing there. I sent out for a bolt to take me back. And he saw me just kind of standing there. He goes, oh, come inside, come inside. I said, oh, the bolt is coming in like 5 minutes. I got to go across the street. And he goes, oh, no, stay right here. So then he goes, oh, 1 minute. He goes, you like the blue crab? Yeah, I like it. It's very good. He thought I was like a tourist or something. He comes back with a bowl with a couple of chunks of pork belly. He goes, try these. I was like, okay. And they were awesome. Very nice guy. You know, he was like, you just come sit as long as you want. And then, you know, a couple minutes later, I was like, I got to go, buddy. Sorry. But yeah, he was a nice guy. We talked for a while because it took a few minutes for the taxi to come pick me up. But let's see if I can find this. Thais dipping into gold savings undermine steps to rein in the bots. So, you know, we've talked about it before where, you know, I've said many places where I've been lately and much earlier in the year, they're closing up now. There's a lot of places shut down. You know, it's just going to continue. It's not going to get better, not yet. Okay, when the vaccine comes in, maybe that'll help. We'll see. But, you know, also another thing to consider is that there is no law. This is back from February where this was talked about. No law stopping shops, hotels from discriminating against Chinese. Now, while I think the Thais are more apt to discriminate against Westerners than they are against Chinese. It was amazing to me to find, in the beginning at least, that a large number of Thais believed that it was all the United States. It was all the Americans are the ones who brought it in. They didn't even consider that it might be some Chinese. Now, they were still, you know, discriminating against Chinese. Well, this is the thing too. You know, it seems to be there are the people who, you know, and it's the same way in the United States where people in charge and other people, just citizens, they seem to think that everything's fine, it'll be fine, just, you know, don't worry about it. We can shut things down, we gotta be safe. But they have money. And then you have other people who are struggling to, you know, have enough to eat. Schools are closed here. Here's another one. This is back from February. Chinese tourists barred from Hua Hin hotels due to virus fears. A Chinese tourist and her child nearly had to sleep on the streets in the resort town of Hua Hin because no hotel would take them. You know, I've been meaning to do another video about what it would take to come to Thailand now and to move here as an expat. And obviously, it's been changing for the past few years. The mentality's been changing because of the government or governments. And some of the laws have changed, some of the policies. But with COVID, it makes it even more difficult because now you introduce this fear of, oh, don't get next to me because you might have that deadly virus. And when you start talking about that, you know, now here back in June, it said officials say temples can deny entry to foreigners. That's what it was. Let me see here. I remember now. Okay, I got it now. Back in June, a popular temple in Bangkok shut its doors to foreigners, including expats who have been residing in Thailand for years, citing anti-coronavirus precautions. Only Thai people now not open for foreigners. Now, that's Wat Po, right? This is months ago, but it's still the same way. And remember that I went to, what is that temple by Chinatown? It's a famous temple. I can't remember it. It's not Wat Saket. Wat Tri Mit, that's what it is. Wat Tri Mit Withiaram Wara Wihan. Not Wuhan, Wihan. If you remember, I don't know, a month or two ago, probably about 2 months ago, I went walking around Chinatown. And one of the things I was going to do, I went to that, if you remember, I went to that old coffee shop in Chinatown, and then I was going to go, I don't remember where, I was going to go somewhere else to eat. Oh, I went to the oyster place, the oyster omelet, mussels omelet. What the hell's the name of that place? Jesus Christ, my memory is horrible. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It was the first video I ever did on YouTube, and so I went there again for the second time, but I don't really remember the name of the place. Well, come on. Give me a second. There we go. Oh, that's not it. Got a lot of videos up there. Nai Mong Hoi Tot. Okay. great restaurant. But anyway, I went to the Chinese coffee shop, went over to the Nai Mong Hoi Tot, and then I was going to go to this temple, the Wat Tri Mit, and that temple was closed down. It was closed down to everybody, not only foreigners but Thais as well. You know, and the Wat Po, very, very famous temple. It's the temple of the reclining Buddha. No, it's not going to be a rap god day. I'm not pissing away any more money on the rap god. No offense, rap god. It's not happening. Not going to happen. Listen, that meal I had yesterday, the curried squid, was very good. The whole meal, for our meal, and the guy kept giving us ice and, you know, stuff like that. I think Dre had a bottled water. I didn't. That whole meal was 100 baht, so about $3.30. It's probably her that is not cooking everything properly. I don't know, but I'm not going there. It's not gonna happen. I'm not in the mood for it. It's the last thing. You know, the last thing I need is some crappy food. And that food, I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says, it's crap. All right? And to say that about a restaurant in Thailand, I don't care if it is Western food, if it's fast food, I don't care what you want to consider it, it's still crap. All right, let me go on here. Okay, yeah, getting back to this whole Wat Po thing. This was with the Richard Barrow guy. And foreigners are not allowed in, even if you're living in Thailand for years. The famous Bangkok temple reopened last week, but are keeping foreigners out over fears of the coronavirus. A sign with red letters, all capitalized. Only Thai people, not open for foreigners, is posted at the entrance. Expat blogger Richard Barrow posted photos of the signs on Facebook after visiting the temple and being denied entrance. No sphincter issues, just the food it tastes like shit. Wat Po is in the process of restoring the reclining Buddha as well as some of the temple's paintings. Temple is restricting access for the safety of the tourists. Now let's think about that. For the safety of the tourists, which tourists are these? Western tourists or Thai tourists? The temple will reopen to the general public on July 1st. Another spokesman said the coronavirus is the reason the temple is banning foreigners. It's because most COVID-19 cases were found in foreigners, a temple representative told Coconuts Bangkok, confirming that they are the only thing they are only allowing Thais to visit at the moment, but there's limited reports on the number of coronavirus cases in foreigners in comparison to Thais. But incoming international travel has been restricted since the end of March. Back in March, out of the 1,524 coronavirus cases reported at the time, 1,297 were Thai and 227 were from foreigners coming into Thailand. In recent weeks, the only new cases have been repatriating Thais returning from overseas. Other recent cases of xenophobia have reared their head, with foreigners reporting restaurants refusing entry, bus companies refusing passengers based on the emergency decree. No such passage exists in the decree, denying foreign passengers. Random tourist attractions, hair salons, and massage services getting in on the act as well. Thailand's public health minister also made his feelings well known with a public outburst against Dirty Faram at a health ministry PR outing at Siam BTS station in early March, when foreigners declined the free handout of the ubiquitous cheap blue medical mask. Maybe that's because they have better masks. Maybe they already have masks and don't want to take it because they're trying to help the people who don't have masks, so that they'll make sure that they get masks also. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. But this guy, in all of his infinite wisdom, felt the need to call foreigners dirty. Now, listen, I know for a fact that I've been called a dirty foreigner because I have a beard, because I wear my beard most of the time. So if I shave my face, then maybe to other foreigners I'm clean. But if I have a beard, I'm a dirty foreigner. I'm one of those guys. It's like, how stupid are you? This is what I hate. I don't like stupid people. I don't like ignorant people. I don't like any of this shit. Shinaro, if Coconut Girl goes out of business, you will be the first to know. She was there yesterday. I have not bought any coconuts from her lately because I haven't felt like having any. Thank you very much, Betty. Thank you. I'm the cleanest person in this country. I shower every time I poop. Well, you're not the only one, buddy. I hate to tell you that. Only if the rap god gets caught in your beard. If the rap god gets caught in my beard, we're in bad shape. And everybody around me is in bad shape. Most were found in foreigners because they only test foreigners. Idiots, yeah. Listen, this is the thing, they're critical thinking. Most people who have been here for a fair amount of time, and I'm not talking about for 3 years or a year or 6 months. I'm talking about people who have been here from the beginning, or who have a bit of knowledge of the country, no matter how long they've been here. They know that the Thais are not the best critical thinkers, and they are not the best communicators. That's the truth. At least it's my truth. I don't want to act like I know everything, and everything I say is the gospel. But I'm going to say, I believe that's the truth. They're not the greatest communicators. I've been told things like, what was it? It was about money. I forget what I was doing. I was doing some kind of business for somebody. I was going to buy something. And I was like, well, this is not really what I wanted. I need something better. What can you do for me? I don't think I can do anything for you. I said, all right, well, whatever. And I started walking out. What? You're not going to buy this? And I'm like, no, it's not what I want. And they were like pissed off at me. And I was like, what are you pissed off? I told you I wanted something else. It was like I flat out told them, no, I don't want this. I want the other thing. I don't want product A. I want product B because it's better. So why are you leaving now? You don't want product A? That's kind of their mentality. Why do I have to tell you to buy product A? It's still good, yeah, but it's not what I want. Or the other favorite, and I'm sure some people in this chat have experienced it, where you go to buy something and you want it. Let's say you want a particular watch or a particular camera, and you go in and let's say you want a GoPro 9, okay? You go in, you're like, yes, I'd like the GoPro 9, please. Can I have? Let me see what you got here. Yeah, okay, this is it. Okay, all right. We have the Xinjiang from China. My pang na. And you're like, no, but I don't want this one. I know, GoPro might have some Chinese parts in them, but GoPro, okay, I want the GoPro. Oh, pang na. Oh, so expensive. And you're like, why are you trying to talk me out of what I want? So, there are some differences in the way people communicate, and the critical thinking is the big one. Because they don't really teach it all that much. They're starting to a little bit more now, and you got to go to better schools. But I don't know, Gennaro. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm never going to hear anything about food other than the rap god. And no, when we speak of rap, we're not talking about, like Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre kind of rap. We're talking about the rap god. Like, have a rap, eat it, tastes like shit, Anyway. Tourism suffering under new COVID panic in Thailand. This came out this morning on the Bangkok Jack. More than 20% of bookings for Chiang Mai's Monjam area have been canceled in response to the new wave of COVID-19 infections. Monjam is a popular attraction in the province as its mountaintop views offer stunning vistas of the Mea Rim Valley and the Royal Project. Wichit Metanakun, president of the Monjam Agro-Tourism Association, said the cancellations accounted for up to 1 million baht in lost earnings. However, he said he hopes tourism will recover in the beginning of 2021, adding that hotel operators are required to practice health measures in line with Public Health Ministry's requirements. That's not going to get people coming in. People are not going to come in just because you say it's safe. Oh, it's safe, but you're going to have to quarantine. And by the way, like you might go somewhere and people might say, you can't come in because, you're a foreigner. You're not Thai. You can't come in. So how does that endear people to Thailand? Oh, yeah, 111 right now. Thank you very much. Good to see. Please give a thumbs up. Consider getting a little bit of my merch or a book, one of my books on Amazon, or however you want to do it. It doesn't matter to me. I appreciate it. Let me see here. What time is it now? It must be 10 o'clock. They're opening up? เปิดแล้วเหรอทำไมอ่ะเป็นวันหยุดเหรอไม่ครับผมวันนี้วันอะไรอ่ะวันนี้วันที่29ตอนแรกเขา23ถึงที่31เขาจะเปิด10 โมงโอเคแต่ว่าพรุ่งนี้เปิด11 โมงครับokay it's because of the fact that it's it's the holiday season, and so there's a lot of sales going on, and so they're open for longer. So they're open right now. I'm just gonna sit here though. I'm not going anywhere. There's really nobody in this place. Very few people coming in. Not nearly as many as usual. There's only you got 2 people here, and you got me, and that's it. What is this? Sardine sandwiches or curried egg sandwiches my father used to make would stink the classroom out. I had no friends. They used to sweat through the brown paper bags. I like sardines, man. I don't know about sardine sandwiches. I guess I could pull it off, but I do like sardines in a salad. Sardines and mackerel. I like them in a salad. Yuck. LOL. Yuck. Yeah. This comes from somebody who loves kimchi. LOL. No masks. I don't know why you're saying no masks. Not usually in restaurants and cafes. No, you buy it from the grocery store. I got like 8 cans of sardines and mackerel in my cupboard right now. I know because I looked this morning because I thought, did my kid eat all of my mackerel and sardines? Because I have some particular ones I like. And I had stashed them because if he gets into them, he'll eat every freaking can. He'll eat them up, he'll eat 2 cans a day. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying about no masks, though. I don't have to have a mask because I'm sitting here eating and drinking and I am socially distanced. The people over here are socially distanced, or I'm going to assume that they live together or something like that. Again, this ain't America. This is Thailand. Which a lot of people forget. Why do they do that there? Why do they do this here? Because it's Thailand, it's not America. That's... But, I'm looking at the people coming in over here. They all got masks on. I have my mask. just got 2 new boxes of masks, and I have probably at least a dozen masks. A couple of, yeah, no, I know, but you know, it's just quite a bit different. The etiquette in Bangkok is wear your mask until you order, until you sit down. I knew that would rile you up. I like kimchi too. Let's hope that that restaurant is still in business, the one I wanted to go to. The one by my kid's school. Good place. If America keeps losing good people like you to overseas countries, then America will become a population of dumb, lost people. Of all the smart Americans are leaving this shithole to become expats. I must have been really smart then, leaving as long ago as I did. I must have seen the writing on the wall, or I must have just been dumb lucky. I think it was dumb lucky. Dumb luck. You know, we like to predict things and think that we know it's going to be so bad under Biden. It's going to be terrible. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. He really is going to reverse everything, and everything's going to be all better. No, it ain't. It's not going to be. You're not going to get any of it. It's always the same old bullshit. They're all full of shit. Every one of those politicians is full of shit. They don't care about, all they care about is getting reelected and making that money. That's all they care about. They don't care about the budget. Listen, let me just tell you something. I heard the guy, I've been watching I like to listen to these guys talk so I can think, you know, just how full of shit is this guy. And I was watching the House, what do you call it? The House meeting on the House, that resolution, I think 9051, which is the COVID bill, the increased funds. And the one guy from, I think it was Oregon, what an asshole. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, where does this guy... I see people in Walmart, and they're buying all kinds of electronics, and the guys told me at Walmart that they haven't had sales like this ever. That sales are fantastic, or some shit like that. And, you know, the thing is that what they forget is that, listen, you cannot just treat everybody equally. There's going to be rich people getting money, and there's going to be poor people getting money. But what these guys forget is, and I'm going to say it this way, because I know I'm already demonetized because of the music. These motherfuckers don't give a shit about you, whether you're on the street and you're shitting on the street. Look at Nancy Pelosi. That's the worst fucking area in the nation, San Francisco. People shitting on the streets, living on the street, shitting in front of businesses, sleeping in front of business, and you can't do a damn thing. And yet, they're bitching about giving people $600 or $1,400 or $2,000. You know, take the freaking hit. Do what you can, and then at least you go, hey, listen, we did what we could. We went into debt to try to help these people. We did our best. I look at them now and I look, you guys are so full of shit. You're not for the people. Shit rolls downhill in San Francisco, yeah. Look at Kentucky. I know it. Listen, I can't stand that McConnell. I can't stand him. I can't stand Schumer. I can't stand Pelosi. I can't stand Maxine Waters. I can't stand a lot of them. They're all full of shit. Anyway, we want to keep it positive here on Malin in the morning here. We're going to stay positive. It's, after all, it's the Christmas holidays. Yeah, look at LA. LA's pretty bad too. If things got bad enough, would you go to America? Depends on how bad. Quick snap answer, no. I would go elsewhere. I would leave. I'd go elsewhere. That's all. It would be difficult. It would be irritating because, you know, contrary to what people may not know, I am an old fart now. I am almost 60 years old, and I don't want to be moving around if I don't have to. Nobody is going anywhere at the moment. I'm not going anywhere at the moment, but if I have to, I will, and I can. It's not that difficult. Just gotta, you can get out of the country. Things here in Siem Reap seem very laid back. You know what I always say? It's all laid back, or it's all hunky-dory until it's not. I used to say that, somebody told me that about Africa. Because I used to go, I don't think it's all that bad. Yeah, no, that's great. You can be in the middle of the worst country, the most dangerous country in Africa, and everything's fine. You're doing well. Hey, everybody's happy and they're friendly. And somebody says the wrong thing, you bring up the wrong topic, and 2 minutes later, you're in a fight for your life. I think going back to the United States after 30 years would be a major adjustment. That's a fucking understatement. Holidays should suffice when this freaking lockdown ends. You are listening to the smooth sounds of Malin in the Morning on WKRP. I think WKRP was in Cincinnati. What was that one I used to listen to with Larry King on the morning in Miami when I was WIOD? I think that's what it was. When I was a kid, I used to listen to him. Because he used to have good guests on, and I'd be a kid sitting there listening in the middle of the night, trying to fall asleep, and I'd listen to him talking to his people, and then after about 5-10 minutes, I'd knock out. Anyway, let's see here. Chinese journalist who documented Wuhan coronavirus outbreak jailed for 4 years. There's more positive information. That's the lovely Chinese government. He's been jailed for 4 years by a Shanghai court, her lawyer said on Monday. This Monday, when was this? Oh, Monday. This past Monday. She was found of picking quarrels and provoking trouble, according to one of her defense lawyers who attended her hearing. The offense is commonly used by the Chinese government to target dissidents and human rights activists. Fuck you, China. I say that with a smile. What's happened to me? I think I'm losing my mind. It really bothers me though about what And I talked about this before, but I think it was the second to last trip to Hong Kong, and I was in I stayed at the same place 3 out of the 4 times or 5 times, and the one place that I stayed at that wasn't the one. There was 2 places, and they were across the street from each other. And the one place, I didn't have any problems. Stayed there 1 time. The other place, people were very nice. The receptionist, there was a girl and an older lady, and they were very, very nice and polite, and they were very helpful and everything like that. So then, the second to last trip, there was a guy in there, and he was pissed off about the protests, about the Hong Kongers protesting. And he was just telling me over and over again, Hong Kong is Chinese, it's Chinese, it's Chinese. I said, what if they don't want to be Chinese? They don't want to be under the Chinese government. Too bad. Oh, man. They cannot talk. They cannot say bad things about Chinese government. They cannot do this. I'm like, who says? You got to think about something. Think about it as an ant colony. You happen to be at the northwest end of the ant colony, and there's some asshole running that part of the colony, and he says, you're not allowed to eat this particular type of food. You're not allowed to eat at the Rap God. But the guy, a lot of the people in that area, they love the Rap God. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to get the fuck out of there, or you're gonna overthrow the guy. It's the same thing. You just happen to be born on a little plot of land. That's why, I mean, in one way, I'm very fortunate to be American. America may have its problems, but I still feel fortunate to be American. You know, I just happen to be born there. I could have been born on the border and been in America, and then 100 feet to the other side, and I'm in Mexico, and I'm poor as hell, fighting for food. You know what I mean? I think you would have a meltdown. If I moved back, it would be the only way I would move back is if I could live somewhere where the only interaction I had with people would be because I wanted to go have interaction with them. I wouldn't want to have to be like, listen, I don't want to go back to the United States and, have to be involved in some business every day or work for somebody every day. And what the hell do I want to do that for? I've been doing just fine for almost 30 years now on my own. Yeah, there's ups and downs, but I'll take them. Because you know what? Say what you will about, not being able to talk about certain things. I have a lot of freedom here in Thailand. I have, nobody bothers me. The Thais don't bother me. They don't ever come up to me and give me a hard time. Nobody's ever said anything about me wearing a mask or not having my mask on when I walk down the street. I've sat on the song towel before, there's a girl there, and she might not have a mask on. I got my mask on. I don't jump all over her. Hey, you gotta put that mask on. And they don't do that to me. So, I like that. Now, where I would have a meltdown is if, I went into, I went into some store or something and I accidentally forgot to pull up my mask or whatever else it might be. And I started getting, harassed or assaulted. Now that would piss me off. When I moved to America, I missed food, low health care costs, and flat rate car insurance for $300 a year. Yeah, I can understand that. I like being an inconspicuous foreigner. Yeah, I kind of like that. Didn't you write and publish your life story? No, I haven't. Not yet, at least. I got verbally accosted by a lady in macro for standing too close. In Thailand? I do remember the other day, I think I was streaming, actually. I don't know where I was. I don't know if I was streaming or not. Maybe I was streaming, I was in the grocery. And I had my mask on. And, there was a lady there in line. And I just, she was done. She was putting money into her purse or something like that. She got a receipt and everything, and I just put everything up on the counter, and I started moving towards where you stand when you're getting ready to pay the cashier, and they're going to ring you up. And she kind of just put her hand out. She just put her hand out, don't get too close. And I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck? At first I thought, oh, she's not done. And then I went, no, she doesn't want me getting too close to her. And I'm like, you know what? I felt like going, fuck you. Get the fuck away from me, lady, because you might give me COVID because you probably just came back from somewhere. For all I know, you could have been in Burma. She screamed that I was going to be the death of us all. Really? Wow. That's pretty crazy. There you go. What's happening with the government protests in Bangkok? They're banned. Completely banned now. In other words, they're completely illegal because of the they call Karen. Water's good. I bit my tongue and walked away. It's probably best, There's most men know you don't get into a fight here unless you absolutely have to. A fight with a Thai. You want to get in a fight with a foreigner, that's a different story. They'll let you do whatever the hell you want. If you agree on it, it's fine. Contrary to what some people might think. If you get into a fight with a Thai here, chances are, you're going to get in trouble, especially if you win and you beat the shit out of them. And also, there may be a number of them that jump in and beat the holy hell out of you. So she probably saw your propeller head and got overwhelmed. Are Laotians less discriminated than Burmese in Thailand? Not that I have seen, no. They're all discriminated. Listen, I've said this, and this is my opinion. I want to make that very clear for a number of reasons. Hint, hint. I don't think they like anybody. You look at it. Cambodians, and some of it has to do with history, what's going on, There's still Americans that don't like Germans because of what happened, in Germany. Or Japanese because of them bombing Pearl Harbor. You know what I mean? Or even Koreans for the Korean War. They may not like them because of that. But think about it. They don't particularly like Cambodians. They don't particularly like Laotians because they believe, that Isan was never part of Laos. That it's their language, not Laotian. They definitely don't like Burmese, but they'll let them work for them because they can get them for a better price. In southern Thailand, the bottom three, Patani, Yala, and Narathiwat, they don't even want to be part of Thailand. So they don't like the Thais. Yeah, they don't like Cambodians either. So all the surrounding borders, and you say what you will about, and I've said it before. Listen, Thailand has a long history with Chinese, and they can get along with them because they know it's beneficial financially. But other than that, they don't particularly like the personalities of the Chinese. Chinese can be, quite obnoxious. Say what you will about, the ugly American. But for the most part, I rarely see that, especially of people who are expats. There are a few that I can think of that are ugly Americans and that I've seen. But for the most part, there's a lot of Chinese who they're just culturally ignorant. They admire the Japanese for their beauty, money, intelligence. Like Vietnamese, they know they're very shrewd, very calculating, very intelligent. And they admire Koreans, but they're not on the border. But I can tell you if all these people started coming in, only when they're paying. They love the Koreans and Japanese because, first of all, because of the women and their white skin and all this other kind of stuff. Some of it is just pure stupidity, in my opinion. I like you so much because your skin is white. Yeah, like I'm gonna trust you. My trust has to be earned. No offense. They're both truly great. Yeah, and Japanese aren't xenophobic either, huh? I've been to Japan quite a few times, and just from my limited experience, which is probably totals about 2 months. Destroy the communism. Listen, Thais have had issues with the Cambodians. They've had issues with the Laotians. They've had issues with Burmese, and they've fought them at various times throughout history. And so they do have a history with these people. But this is now. Listen, Texas and Americans fought against Mexicans. It doesn't mean we don't, listen, Mexicans come into the United States and there's no problem with them. As long as they come in legally. They don't try jumping President Trump's wall. And if they do that, then, it's like if they get shot, then, they're going to blame it on Americans. Try doing that to a couple countries. Try getting in their country illegally, sneaking in, and see what happens to you. It's fun, the U.S. is held to a higher standard, As my expats for work from international companies, I don't understand. As my expats for worked from international companies, it was a wonderful experience in Korea and Japan. I'm not saying it wasn't. I've been to both countries and had a decent time, but there is a large amount of discrimination and xenophobia in both countries. I mean, and I know people that have worked there. I know a guy in Korea that's worked there for, I don't know how long, 15, 20 years. He's a university professor, and an American. And, he's got his share of issues there. No place is perfect. And, you don't want to try comparing countries all that much. Jesus, when I compared Thailand and the Philippines as a place to live, I just about got my head chewed off. By 99.9% of the people were Filipinos. And, they take it the wrong way. It's like, hey, listen, you want to make changes, positive changes to your country, maybe you should listen to what people are saying. The same thing with Thailand. They don't listen all that often. Their government doesn't listen. They listen to where the money emanates from. That's what they listen to. If you're a paying, they're smiling. That's how, that's life. Stop paying and see if they like you so much. All right? And the same goes in Japan. You want to do business in Japan, and you're paying and you're, making them happy, you're giving them what they need, no problem. I respect it. The only reason why they're feared is because they spend so much damn money. That's how they bully other countries. But I don't know that that's necessarily the case. There are some positives about the United States. I don't know where you're from, if you're American or not, but yeah, that's what I mean. You can't. It's like saying, all Chinese are bad, all Thais are stupid. You can't do that. You just can't make those kind of broad generalizations. So you're Italian. Are you in Italy, or are you an American, who's like Italian background, or a European with Italian background? I mean, I can't say that I've really been in any Asian country where I've had a terrible time, or where there was like, man, I never want to go back there again. I don't think there was anywhere. I'm trying to think. Never in Myanmar. Although I did go into a general's house once, and he said to me, I was looking for somebody that was fairly well known, and the guy told me, you will never find him. Yes, I've been to the China mainland. That's there we go. Sorry, I forgot about China. Chinese mainland, I didn't have a terrible time, but I was being taken well care of by the promoter. I went twice to the mainland and once to the Olympics to cover the Olympics, and I was treated, fantastically during the Olympics. I mean, they had little university girls helping. How bad could it be? you know, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. But the other places, but they only let you go to certain areas. You can't go out of certain areas. When you were in Beijing, you were only allowed to go to a certain area, and you couldn't go outside of it, supposedly for your safety. But the other places in China, one place, Huili, the city was nice. It was clean. It was, you know. I think I have a little bit of video up there. There are guys, you know, at the park with the little spinning tops, and they're whipping the top, and they got girls, you know, ladies, older ladies mostly, dancing, and you know, and the place was very clean. They took care of it, but the people, you know, they take some getting used to. I would not want to live there, period. So that's the one place. Indonesia, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Singapore, Myanmar, Nepal even. I liked all of the places. I was treated very well. Sometimes can't even get over that it was not even Thailand then, and nationality is a modern idea, but not then. Yeah, I mean, listen, Thailand was a lot smaller when it first started out as Siam. You know, when it first started spreading, it was much smaller. And, you know, I've been meaning to go back. I have a book that tells the history of Southeast Asia. It's a very, very good book. You know, it's all basically summarizes everything. And it has, you know, basically all Southeast Asia in it. Fantastic book. Ancient history saw a lot of changes to the territories. Yeah. Anyway, the bottom line is this, though. Read the book Tribe. Sebastian Junger. You know, there's a reason why, and I talked about this the other day, if you're ever in prison or you're in a jail, if you're a straight up white guy, you're probably not going to be hanging out with a group of blacks. And the blacks are not going to be hanging out with the whites, and the whites are not going to be hanging out with the Mexicans, and the Asians are not going to be hanging out with the whites. Because when it comes down to it, it's the governments who say you must get along with each other, you know. What I can say more of China, all desperate expat over there, and we don't even think about Chinese will be the same over and over again with their cultures. I don't understand what the hell that means. More of China, all desperate. I don't know that maybe now expats are desperate there. But say 5-10 years ago, you know, listen, it was difficult to stay there, but you could do it. Like I said, I wouldn't want to live there. And I'm sorry, I like the Philippines, and there are some places that maybe I could live, but why would I want to? I prefer here, you know. And if I'm not going to live here, I don't think I would live in Asia, because I don't think, you know, for short term, I would probably go somewhere. I'd probably go to Cambodia or somewhere like that. Short term being like 3 months, maybe 6 months. Long term, I would get out of Asia. And that would be because I would go with my wife and my kids, and I'd have to figure out everything. And, you know, we have a vague plan, backup plan. But, you know, who knows whether that would work. The last ditch place to go would be the United States. That's it. I mean, that's a last resort at this point. Time for a Malin meandering. I lived there for a year. Where? The PI? Makes sense. It's all. Yeah, I mean, the PI is very sad, and the people are wonderful there. I mean, for the most part, they're very, very nice. Now, there's a little bit more crime. They're a little more aggressive than Thais. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Costa Rica, yes. Well, definitely would go for Japan and Korea for working. Have at it. You know, I often wonder what would it be like living in Japan if I had decided to live in Japan first, not Thailand. What would it be like? I don't think I would live in Korea. I've been there twice, and plus some layovers. But I've been there twice, and spent a couple of weeks there. I went to Jeju Island also. I went to Seoul. And no for Panama. I don't want South America, Central America. I really don't want to be there. I lived in Japan. It was dry and boring. Thank you. Love Costa Rica. Yeah. Well, Costa Rica is close to Miami, which is important to me. That's a that could be a place at some point. I don't know, It really depends. Things change, and like I've said several times, there's a lot of fluidity right now. Things are changing all the time. You don't know what's going to happen. Listen, Thailand could be completely shut off, closed down. Nobody's in or out. You're stuck here. We'll work all the problems out as we go, and that's it. There's no way out. And then, then they could just say, hey, you know what? We don't think it's that bad. Now we've reversed our position, and we're going to, we're going to let everybody in. But I thought you were considering Ecuador. I've considered it, and I would still consider it. I would also consider Portugal, although I don't know about Portugal. I'm not so sure. There's a lot of places to consider. But I mean, assuming you have a little bit of time to plan. I mean, the problem is I've never been to Portugal. I've never been to Costa Rica, and I've never been to Ecuador. I know a lot of people in Ecuador, and they all like it. But they've also said that it's changing very quickly. Uruguay, no. I don't think I could get that. I don't think I could pull that off with the wife. Cheers, man. Cheers. There will be an end to this virus. I sure hope so. I'm not banking on it being anytime soon, though. If it, what is it? Expect the worst, plan for the worst, and what the hell is it? I can't even remember. Expect the worst, plan for the best. Plan for the worst, expect the best. I don't know what it was. I forget. Portugal's nicest problem with immigrants too, compared to Spain and France. Yeah. I know several people who have been there, spent quite a bit of time there. Hope for the best. Yeah, hope. That's what it is. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. Thank you. The other thing that I'm actually giving serious consideration to is my health. Am I going to be able to get decent care? Here you can get decent care. You got to cross your fingers and, hope you get the right doctor and hope they don't try to screw you around, and what did my friends say is changing in Ecuador? There's a lot more foreigners there now. And some of their laws are changing apparently for living there or something. I don't know. But still, I'm not saying it's not a good place. It could be. I don't know if that would be the place for me. I mean, the thing is, in a perfect world, I'd like to go to all these places and check them out. And who knows, maybe I will one day. I don't know. There's a possibility. I think Portugal is a long shot. You know, there's part of me that Malta is a place that I know somebody from Malta. I don't talk to him anymore, but I haven't talked to him in years. But he was from Malta, and he used to tell me about it. And there's a lot of good things to be said about Malta, Sardinia, you know, places like that. But I don't know, you know, it's I don't know. Yeah, well, that's a good reason not to go there. Listen, I just want to say one more thing before I go. I'm wondering about what was that? Somebody sent me something about Instagram and how Instagram is now they've changed their terms and conditions, and they're doing a lot more shady shit, more in line with Facebook. And you know, I really haven't posted anything on Twitter and Facebook. I think I posted one thing about the elephant that in Ayutthaya. That's the only thing I posted in the last month, and I really haven't been posting much at all on Instagram. I'm fucking sick and tired of this social media. I already show my whole life on YouTube. I don't need to show it everywhere else too. You know, that's the thing. I've never cared about some of this stuff. Yeah, Facebook owns Instagram. I've said that for a long time, which kind of, you know, to me it's like, listen, get a website. Get a website from a company that you can trust, and then you got everything right there. If somebody wants to go see you, talk to you, they want to get through to you, you can set everything up on your website. You don't have to deal with all that bullshit. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Aaron. I think, you know, free talk, free speech. Dre, yeah, that's right. Dre makes websites. Yeah, give him a little buzz. Give him a little action. You can hang a WordPress in about an hour. Well, I've never liked WordPress. Make one for me, Mr. Dre. Isn't it Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre, the website doctor. See, let me ask you guys something. The only thing that I give a shit about when it comes to fame is money. I'd rather have the money and no fame than fame and money. I don't give a shit about fame. I don't care how popular I am. I'm not popular now. I mean, you know, some people know me, some people like me, some people don't like me. Oh well, you know, the fame. Why is the fame so important? To me, it's not. If I had it my way, it'd be on a fucking cabin somewhere. Be living in a cabin in Alaska somewhere, out in the middle of nowhere. I'd rather be feared. Straight up. You don't have to love me, but you will respect me. Sopranos. Yeah, I'm not into the whole fame thing. I really, listen, I've been in a couple documentaries. I've been in a movie. And while, you know, it was an experience, it was fun, but, you know, for me, like when I was in the movie and I went to Cannes, this is 20 years ago, I was happy they paid my way, and you know, I got a check. I was like, fantastic. They didn't have to do it either. I was just helping out my buddy, you know. But, yeah, I didn't give a shit about the fame. I was on the red carpet. I was in a suit. I was all, you know, yeah, woo, it was fun. But, you know, like, do I need that to be whole? No. It does not complete me. Who gives a shit about the fame? All I want is security, stability from my wife and my kids and me. That's it. Other than that, I found generally in life, if someone has money and an ounce of common sense, then most other things take care of themselves. Yes, I concur. Everyone is famous nowadays. Well, listen, I definitely didn't start this channel to be famous. I actually started it with the best of intentions. How freaking naive I was. I was naive, really. I was like, well, maybe I'll make a little money, but I get to help people, and it's kind of cool. You're not a prick enough to be wealthy, and I mean that in a good way. Listen, I've had my share of, I've had my chunks of earnings here and there, and what it helped was stability. That was it. It helped me be stable for a couple of years. If you don't keep earning too, then what are you gonna do? If you're earning $1 million a year and you're spending 900,000 of it, and then all of a sudden you stop earning the million a year, and you've got 300,000 left. How long is that 300,000 gonna last? It's not gonna last very long if you're living $1 million, a millionaire's lifestyle. And I take offense that you don't think I'm a prick. I can be. At least that's what my wife tells me. Got into it with the wife today. I'll give you guys a little info. My wife tends to use the kitchen table as her own office, which irritates me, because I like to sit down and I like to have a meal, and I like my kids to sit down and I like her to sit down. We all have a meal, and it's an open table, and there's a little something, a little centerpiece, and we got the nice tablecloth or whatever, and we all sit there and have a nice meal. Or if some people come over, which happens once every great while, we pull out the leaf and the table gets bigger, and we all sit down and we have a beautiful meal. Now, she uses the table as her own office and leaves her computer on there, and cables, and her makeup and her purse and all this other shit. So we have this long-standing battle of me throwing the stuff off the table and putting it over to the side somewhere on the floor, and her putting it back on the table because she needs it there. And I'm like, we need a table to be a table. And then so this morning, I had eaten, what did I have? Oh, I had a sourdough muffin with some avocado on it. Sit there, I eat my sourdough muffin. I grab a paper towel, I wipe my hands off. After I'm done, I grab the plate, bring the plate over, put it in the sink. No, not buttered. I didn't butter that English muffin. So I'm getting ready to leave, and she says, "What's this?" I said, "What are you talking about?" "This over here." And it was the paper towel. It was like one of those, I don't get the ones where you got the big pieces of paper towels. I got the ones that are half sheets, because we don't always need the big ones. It's not like we got kids spilling stuff all over the place. I had crumpled it up, and I brought the plate over to the sink and put that in the sink, and then it means do it yourself. And then I left the paper towel. Yeah, she wishes, believe me. I want her happy and everything. I want her to be, I want her to be happy. She can be happy. But I don't want to, you can give a little, but you don't want to give too much. But anyway, I left a little paper towel on the table. And she's like, "What is this?" I said, "What do you mean?" "You always leave the little paper towels wrinkled up on the table." And I said, "Are we really going to talk about this now? Look at the table right now. You got your makeup, your little eyeliner thing, you got your computer, you got your laptop charger, you got your phone charger, you got the cable for the phone, you got the cable for the laptop, you got a basket full of shit." She's like, "Please, stop forgetting to throw the paper towel away. It's disgusting." I'm like, "All I did was wipe my hand off." She goes, "Yeah, but I don't know, you could have blown your nose into it." Those are our kind of conversations. That's the kind of, we have our little skirmishes, but that's all they are. Lightweight skirmishes. Oh, God. Anyway. I don't know if I'm going to try to close the year out here strong. Today's what, the 30th? No, the 29th. 2 days left in the year. Yeah, well, I've always been out of the house. I made it a point when we first met that she knew I need to travel, I need to go places, I need to do things. You got to give me a little bit of time. Well, I sure hope so, Aaron. I am generally pretty happy. I have my moments. I get blue now and then, but there you go, Gennaro. I don't know. I don't know if no. I'm gonna have to say nay, Mr. Monash. I'm listening while I work. I didn't see your comment. It's just do it yourself. DIY. Do it yourself. I'm too fussy? No. That was all right. Missed that one. Wix. I got, what is it? Weebly. What standards? Does Steven have standards? Yeah, maybe I should. Gennaro might have some standards. I don't know about Steven, though. Anyway, I'm thinking about what to do the next 2 days or one day. I'm going to stream either 1 or 2 of the next 2 days. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go somewhere, where will I go? Because let me tell you something. Yesterday, I left my house at 7 o'clock. Rap God standard, thank you. I left my house at 7 o'clock. I got back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was a 9-hour day. I don't like 9-hour days. Where haven't you been yet? There's a lot of places I haven't been, but I'm not going outside of the country. As far as inside the country, that's a little bit different. And actually, now that you bring that up, Alex and I are working on a little something, a little musical project. And maybe I'll send the first verse to some of the members of my line group and my Patreon and my website and on YouTube here. I don't know. I'll see. It's called I've Been Everywhere. And it's, if you listen to it, it's done by, I think it was done by Hank Snow originally, but Johnny Cash did it, and I think there was an Australian version of it, Mr. Monash. It's called I've Been Everywhere. And if you listen to it, it's not an easy song to do, at least lyrically. It's not all that difficult guitar-wise, but he wants to talk to the guy who owns the studio and who teaches him, his teacher, and go over it with him first. But we're working on that. I should have that done, and I hope to have it done before the new year, but it's not going to happen because the studio's closed until next Sunday, or this coming Sunday. So it'll be after the first of the year, but anyway, we're working on something, and you guys might like it. I think you'll like it. Just listen to this song by Johnny Cash, I've Been Everywhere, and then throw in some Asian destinations, and nothing, this is, thank you. I still take a little bit of exception at the fact that this show is supposedly about nothing. McLean and McLean, I've seen the pubic hair, man. McLean and McLean, I've seen pubic hair, man. You got me. It's actually, let me see if I can find it here. Wait, one second here. What the hell? Let's see here. Thank you very much there, Mr. Minaj. Appreciate that. Choke D to you. All right, here we go. Actually, I like this chick too that sings it. She's all right. She can sing, this girl. But this is Mr. Cash, who I like quite a bit. I'm not a big country guy, but I like Johnny Cash. Always have. So yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do. If I stream 2 days, there'll be one day where I don't know if I'll be in this Starbucks. I might be somewhere else. But I'm gonna try one of the days to go somewhere else, you know, out in the city. It might be Chinatown, I don't know. I don't know yet. Time will tell. Thais like them too. Well, yeah. It's been fun working with Alex, believe me. You know, he doesn't want to sing. The whole thing is I just tried to help him a little bit. And then one thing became, led to another. And now he's like, no, you can sing. It's okay. You're good. Go ahead. Yeah, it's okay. You sing. I don't want to sing. And Nicholas is like, yeah. He doesn't want to sing either. So he's like, just do it. I'm like, you know what? I'll do it if it helps their music and they can get in with like a band or something like that. And they, they're used to playing with other people. Then fine, I'll do it. But it's fun working with my kid. That's the whole thing. Anyway. Yeah, they do. They do. If they understand it. And they may not understand everything, but they understand some. I mean, listen, I went to, what was the name of that concert? I went to a Slash concert with my buddy, and my wife, she didn't want to go. And then she and I went to Oasis years ago. So, that was fun. That was a good concert. They were pretty good. Choice Hotels commercial. Oh yeah, that's right. It was a commercial at one time. That has nothing to do with why I wanted to do it. I just like the whole theme. But there is another woman who sings this, and she's great. I really like her. And she's been singing since she was a little kid. And she's excellent. I just found this girl yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen you genuinely smile. I'll just recommend one thing to you. Don't think you know me. Don't think you know me from just looking at me and seeing what I do. Because you don't know shit. I'm just telling you. You don't. Maybe I'm just a sarcastic individual. It doesn't mean that my smile isn't genuine. I'm about as genuine as you're gonna get. Jesus Christ. You know, there's a guy out there, and I'm not going to say who he is, but he's got this mentality that, you know, like, you know, you look at a girl and you can tell exactly how she is, and I'm like, that's bullshit. That's why you got to get to know them. You don't know them from looking at them. And the same goes with me, but I'm just saying, like, would you look at a chick and see her online and go, oh, she's probably so sweet in real life, she's the nicest person, or she's really sarcastic. She might be that way on the camera, but like in real life, she might just be a regular chick, you know. And I always laugh when he does that. Oh, yes, she's like so, I think she, what did he say the one time? It's been so long since he said it, but yeah, smiling police. What did he say? He said, I think she has a gentle soul or something like that. Oh, God. Oh, man. Fucking heck. You see what I'm up against? It's all right. If I was Howard Stern and I was screaming and yelling, you guys would be like laughing your asses up. Let me see something here. Ah, what the hell? All right, well, sorry if my smile is a little too sarcastic for you or ingenuous. It is what it is, though. That's the bottom line. Everything is what it is. And, you know, again, I'm going to say this. I think more people need to stay out of other people's business and only worry about themselves. And, you know, like, I'm a grown man. And, like, I don't need somebody to stand over me and tell me how to do things unless I'm asking them for help or advice. I don't need that. And, you know, like, my smile is what it is. Whatever my smile is, you know, doesn't mean it's ingenuous. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Give me a break. You know. No offense. Don't take it personal. Anyway, we're at the 2-hour mark, and I don't want to walk around and do a little Malin meandering. I'm not hungry. I am thirsty. I got cotton mouth. But I definitely don't want to go to Ubon Pan. I don't want to go to Rap God, and I just don't really feel like having any food right now. So, I think since we're getting to that point where now we might go from talking about fear-driven anti-foreigner sentiment to Scotty's sarcastic smile, ingenuous smile. And the next step, you know what the next step is? What we'll be talking about? Poo. And I don't want to talk about poo. So. Oh, God. So, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the thumbs up. It'd be nice. Too late. I mentioned hard hit. I do when I'm having a hard hit. Oh, one of those. Okay. This is like fucking Heckle and Jekyll meet the Munsters. Mr. Mitch, how you doing, buddy? How's everything? What happened to Blackarama now? He's not answering. What's, you know? That's how I know. That's how I know it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm so happy now. I'm genuine too. It's a genuine, real smile. What? How old are you, dude? I mean, what are you, like 4 years old?
Mommy, are you really smiling?
Jesus Christ, do you know that, the majority of Thais, when they smile, there's something behind their smile. It's not just a smile because like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. It's either I'm happy to see you because I know you're gonna pay big money. It's I'm happy to see you because I'm happy to see you. It might be I tripped and fell and feel like a dumbass, so this is me. Or, I farted. It could be many things. Steven and I smile way more than you. What's the name of the song? All I Want for Christmas is You. Yeah. Anyway, what is this? What is this little doll thingy? I don't know why. No, I have not. Have not seen Smile around. It's been months. Thanks for reminding me, Dre. I don't know. It might not be heard by by YouTube. It might be too low because they turned it down. Haven't seen Smile. Haven't seen Mild. No beer today. No Tian. No Preo. No Mook. None of the regulars. They're all not here. And I have a feeling that it's because there's very few people here. Don't people wonder what you are doing there every day just talking to the air? I'm talking to the air, or am I talking to people through my camera? If I'm out walking around, or once in a while somebody will walk in and take a look, and that's it. And quite frankly, I don't care. They can look all they want. If they ask me, oh, what are you doing? Then I'll be like, hey, I'm on YouTube. I'm like talking to my buddies. I always just tell them I'm talking to my friends. Today, people must be bored today because I've had a lot more. Usually, the average is about 75 for a month, 75 per stream, and today it was. I think I got up to like 112, 114, something like that. Not bad, It's not as good as Hong Kong, but then I'm not getting shot at right now. I really believe that the reason that I had so many people watching at one time. For me, 320 or whatever it was, 312, was because there were people there who they wanted to see, is he going to get shot? Is he going to get hit with a tear gas pellet? Listen, I'm a little surprised because I used to get asked all the time, hey, aren't you that guy, an American in Bangkok? Yeah, that's me. I go, hey, how you doing? And now I don't get it as much. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm not in it for the fame. Yeah, you see? There's always some knucklehead out there who's like, I hope he gets shot. Maybe the tear gas pellet will go up his ass. I want to see him get hit in the dick. Don't make me laugh. Bummer, no restaurant review today. A tear gas pellet in the ass is good for views, yes. There you go, you see? Smile doesn't cost a thing, it's free. Even if it's a sarcastic one. You got a friend with a question? What is that? Do I really want to know? I wouldn't mind having like something to drink somewhere, but I don't want some bubble drink or sugary frickin' sugary drink. Those rubber bullets sting. Yes, they do. And the tear gas, actually, me and the guy Simon, the big guy, who is still in Hong Kong, Australian guy, we saw a guy who got shot in the back with tear gas. He got hit in the back with a tear gas pellet, and it burned through his backpack. And he ripped his backpack off, threw it down on the ground, and was running or whatever. And then some people helped him, but it really, I mean, it left a scar like that long and that wide, just in his back, a big like black. It was pretty gnarly. And I don't know if it went in and stuck or what it did. But it burned a hole through the backpack, and you know, he was in bad shape. And then I think that was in the area we were there one night. We were in a. It's fucked up. We go down this street, and they didn't have the street cordoned off. They had one end cordoned off, and the other was not. So we're walking down. We just happened to stumble upon this street that was open. We're walking down. We're trying to get down to this area. We heard that there was a bomb, and you know, we wanted to get down to that area. We knew there were going to be police and a bomb squad and stuff. So we're moving down there. It's a dark street. We get down to this little area. It's like a little shopping mall or something, shopping center, you know, like shop houses. And we see this box on the ground, and we start going close to it. And all of a sudden we hear somebody shouting at us, and it's a cop, and it was a British cop actually, and he was screaming at us to get out of the area, that area is you know, cordoned off for a reason. I said, well, it wasn't, you know, we were like, it wasn't cordoned off back behind it. You need to get out of here. So we just moved over to where the guy couldn't see us enough, and we were behind a wall, but we were still about, I'd say maybe 100 feet, 50 feet away from this box. And what they would do is, no names, but a live vlogger got drunk in the U.S. and has been set up for a mugging. The viewers called the police and saved his ass. Not great for him. I don't understand that, but so we move and we get out of the way, and then they bring in the remote control little thing. It's like a little, it looked like what are those things where the erector sets? It looked like a little erector set up, and you know, it had the camera on it and the you know, the whatever they call those things, the little grabby things, the pinchers. And so we see them, the erection sets. We see the guy, you know, they're setting everything up, and you know, they saw us peeking out from behind the wall, and the one British guy, and he was pissed off. He was pissed, not at us, but he was just pissed off about the whole situation. And he came over and just was screaming at us. What the fuck? I don't want to swear. He's telling us to get behind the wall, stay back there, don't you move 1 inch, blah, blah, blah. We're like, oh, okay. So then this little thing comes up, starts messing around with the box, which we did actually see the box. We looked at the box, and we were like, I wonder what that is. And what the Hong Kongers would do is put wires coming out of a box. It was like a little cake box. And there were like wires coming out. So then you wonder, oh, what is this? And so, you know, they had to take all the precautions. And so they have this thing come up, and then they told us, okay, hey, they weren't yelling and screaming at us this time. The guy wasn't. But he said, hey, you know, make sure you stay back because we're going to detonate this thing. You're like, shit. So they brought it over and detonated this little box, and it was like a dud. So, you know, nothing really happened. It just kind of like, the idea was that if it was going to detonate and there was a bomb, that it would blow it up. But all it did was just kind of like, you know, it was like, I'm not gonna say it. It was like, you know, a weak explosion. Don't know how I got on that, but yeah, that was us. That was a long night. It was like you're waiting to have a huge fart, and a little tiny silent one comes out, and you're like, what the fuck? If you wear an luminous orange or green vest, you can go anywhere. I wouldn't go that far. Because there was a couple times where they asked to see my ID, and you know, in the beginning I didn't have it yet. It took me a little while to get it. And you know, that's when I was using my Florida ID. I had my Florida ID in a little pouch because it had my picture on it. So if they looked, I just went, that's it, press, I'm pressed. And then I got the actual card and I was all right, but God, that was fun. It's fun looking back, and I feel bad for the Hong Kongers because it wasn't ever fun for them, but you know, it's life, I guess. Anyway, I've been rambling on here. Thank you for joining me. Become a member of my YouTube channel. Just hit the join button. You can become a member for, I think it's $1.99, something like that. You become a concrete member. You had a lot of, yeah. Yeah, now looking back, that was fun. I wouldn't want to do it now. I would do it now. Yeah, I know. I mean, we were behind a wall, and we were still scared shitless because we were behind a wall and we had our cameras out. Like, if anything happens, I think I still got pictures of that night. Oh God, I have to find them. I have to go back and look. I have too many pictures now. You know, when you start taking hundreds of pictures a day, after a while, you're like, you forget some of them. You know, you pick the one or two of the best ones. I got 3 rolls of film at my house. I don't know what's on those rolls of film. I need to go and have them developed. It could be anything. I got no idea what it is. All I know is it's not a picture of me sitting in my underwear or anything like that. I like that. The Meanderer. I'm gonna make my next website The Meanderer, or I'll have Dre do it. Tired of doing them. Anyway, yeah. What was I gonna say here? Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That was for you, Mr. Minaj and Mr. Gennaro, and anybody else. Fucking hottie alert. Anyway, you know the drill. Thumbs up, not ass up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll be there before I'll see you again before Happy New Year, at least some of you. There you go. You learn something new every day, Mr. Minaj. Don't forget to click thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to pick up some merch or whatever else. Just look in the description. It's all there. Become a Patreon patron. I haven't had a new Patreon patron in a little while. Although I should thank Mr. Ralph. He's the latest Patreon patron. And that was, I don't know, a couple, 2 months ago or so. Did you see the body cam footage? No, I didn't. I haven't really looked at it that much. I saw the headline. I know what happened, and that's about it. You know, it'll just piss me off. I don't want to get irritated by it. Even my wife has been watching the news a lot, and I'm like, what do you keep watching? Put it down. Stop watching the news. It's not good for you. Gnome is, if you're in the context that I think you are talking about, it means nipple. Or who a gnome is nipple. Yeah. Or as they say, some of the Thai men say here, big milk. She have big milk. Don't ask. But huanome is nipple. FYI. Yes. Anyway, on that note, I shall bid you all adieu. I will see you in the next day or two. And thank you for joining me. And I guess that's it. Talk to you guys later. Choke B. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Jerk and my. Here's your girl there, Gennaro. All right. She's all yours. They understand big milk. Anyway, arrivederci. Don't forget about the Cash App.
Don't forget the Cash App.
And you know what's so funny is that the new bill they're trying to pass is I think it's the cash bill or the cash whatever in the United States. Yeah, I'm gonna try to smile, but you know it might be a little sarcastic. I don't know. You know, it's not genuine. Anyway, see you guys later.